Hey everyone, welcome to a new news and update video. I apologize for the quality as I'm not normally set up for this type of video. But as you can see in front of me, I've received today the Pip-Boy 3000 Deluxe Bluetooth Edition. I thought I'd make this video because I encountered things that I thought I would want to discuss with all of you, whether you've bought one already or are thinking about buying one. After unpackaging it from the cardboard box, I found that the corners of the lid were a bit dented. We don't know if this was actually done by the shipper or the manufacturer. Opening the box, we're found with the operational manual for the Pip-Boy 3000 Bluetooth Edition. The manual contains its Pip-Boy Vault-Tec-like charm with its drawings and pictures, but it also provides a decent amount of information presented in a way that is friendly and kind of in-game. However, I did feel that the instructions or information could have been a little bit better. Removing the top layer of foam, which you'll see is very thick and well padded, you'll find the Pip-Boy 3000 edition with the stand and the box containing all the cables and necessary things. You'll see that my Pip-Boy is actually already on. That is because I've already tested things out on it. I've been playing around with it just to be able to see its condition, how well it works, and what's available on it in order to do this video. At the bottom of the box, you'll also find more foam, which is very thick and provides for very good padding. However, we'll move this out of the way for now because there's really nothing to talk about, and we'll basically move on to the base of the Pip-Boy 3000 Bluetooth Edition. When taking it out of the box, you'll see that the top of the base has two speakers where the music and noise can come out when you're plugged in. Also, there's clear supports which makes you look very fancy and nice, and the plug-in or the port for the connection on the base. On the bottom of the stand, you'll find two ventilation ports, and that's pretty much it for the stand. Also, before I forget, there is a port on the back of the stand where you can plug the charger into it as well. Before we move forward, though, I decided I wanted to compare the two. The Bluetooth Edition with the original Pip-Boy that came out during the game's release. You'll see that the stands are relatively the same. The Pip-Boys itself are relatively the same as far as the button configuration. However, you'll notice minor things as far as these distances between the knobs, maybe the screen size, and some of the minor details like the locking mechanisms. You'll see that they're kind of just shaped or colored a little differently. But other than that, they're relatively the same thing. The colors aren't that bad. The Bluetooth Edition has more of a matte finish as well. We're going to go ahead and turn on the Pip-Boy 3000 by pushing the power button down below the screen. It starts off with the boot screen where it shoots up random text across the screen. After that, you're followed with the initialization screen that slowly boots up, and I've found that this roughly takes around anywhere between 30 to 35 seconds in order to finish the booting process. Once the initialization process has completed booting, you'll be sent to what should be the stats screen. However, this may vary depending on what you have the main dial set to. This button at the top is the flashlight button, which activates the flashlight like you would in-game. It illuminates the entire screen as if it was the flashlight. The next button is the button on the left, which basically turns the screen on and off. You can turn it one direction for off and the other direction for on. At the very top of the Pip-Boy, you'll find a latch or button that basically shoots out the holotapes. The holotapes is basically a little cartridge. It doesn't plug into the Pip-Boy, but you can see it is just a little cartridge that you can basically take apart by removing the top here, and it exposes a 16 gigabyte USB. The little slider at the top of the holotape moves, but it doesn't do anything. It has no function, so it's basically just a 16 gigabyte USB. This doesn't plug into the Pip-Boy. It is just there in case you want to carry around 16 gigs. The next button is a select button. It is right next to the vertical slider, which basically selects the subtabs in the main tabs of the Pip-Boy. The select button basically allows you to go into that window and change the remaining options with the vertical selector. The only way to exit this is to select the top option at the very bottom of the window and then hit the select button to exit back out. This allows you to go to the upper tabs where you can then keep changing the windows. Moving on to the inventory tab, you'll find that this is only active when it's connected to your phone via Bluetooth. This screen is basically to display any new messages or message history that you receive through your phone. Moving on to the data tab, there's a lot more options. There's the date, there's the clock, the alarm clock. You can set the time, you can set the date. There's a map option as well. This also changes when you're connected to your phone via Bluetooth. Now I wanted to show you this because this screen has a certain type of background where you have to look at it head on. If you tilt or look at it at an angle, it does seem to kind of alter the image. Then there's the radio tab that allows you to play music that you have stored on your phone in order to imitate the radio-like experience that you would in-game. Now the radio button on the actual Pip-Boy itself doesn't seem to have any actual function. If it does, I haven't figured it out yet. There's a gain button near the bottom that basically acts as a volume. The rads meter isn't really anything. It is just a sticker. It doesn't move. It doesn't react to anything. The only thing it does is light up. The power button lights up, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing much else to it. You can see the side here. The shape and dimensions are pretty much the same as the previous model Pip-Boy. The colors are almost identical. And that's pretty much the Pip-Boy 3000. Here I'm connecting my cell phone, which is an iPhone 6, to the Pip-Boy 3000, and you'll see that the screen changes on the radio tab. This is basically allowing me to play my music through the Pip-Boy now. Now, changing to, say, the map screen, you'll also see that this has changed because I'm connected to my phone. This is now displaying the map still, but it is also displaying other options. So you will see that certain screens will change depending on whether you're connected to your phone via Bluetooth or not. All of this being said, I do want to discuss some of the trouble or issues or even bugs that I've encountered using the Pip-Boy 3000 Bluetooth Deluxe Edition so far. So on the stats screen, I've encountered this. I'll go to, say, Special, and then I'll try to go and view the perks screen as well. When I do that, this is what happens. The entire Pip-Boy freezes. It stays on the special screen. You can see the animation is not animating anymore, and I can't go forward or back or change tabs. Any of the buttons that I push do not do anything. The only option that I have left is basically to turn the Pip-Boy off and back on again. So back in the system, I basically want to go to the Data tab, and at this point I'm basically fed up. And I know that in the Settings tab, there is a option to reset the device. However, I'm stuck here at the Set Alarm screen. I know that I can reset the device back to factory settings in the Settings option. However, I can't get to it because it's frozen yet again, and all the buttons lose functionality. Again, the only option I have is to turn off the Pip-Boy and to turn it back on again. Another time I noticed this happening was when I was moving the dial back and forth between options. After enough times, I've noticed that the Pip-Boy again freezes causing me to turn it off and on again. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get it recorded, but I have noticed as well that when I'm trying to sync my contacts or download my contacts to the Pip-Boy, it stays stuck in the downloading phone book screen. Again, the only other option you have at that point is turning it off and back on again. So I am pretty happy with this Pip-Boy. It does feel like a nice quality Pip-Boy. I'm glad that the buttons have individual functions. However, there are some other things as well, some very minor things that I'm kind of displeased with as well. The buttons don't have any feedback. So when you're moving the buttons, like the dials or whatnot, they feel very smooth. They're like ice. So what you're interacting with on screen has no feeling to it. It would be nice as if, for example, if I were to switch a tab, it had a click to it. So each click was like a change of an option. The rads meter would also be nice to have some function, and it would be also nice to see if the holotapes actually plugged into the Pip-Boy itself for further options or what have you and more. So even though I think this is a great and well-built Pip-Boy, there are some minor issues that need to be addressed, and hopefully an update will be released sometime soon, whether it be from ThinkGeek or Bethesda. Hopefully something will get the software running smoothly and at 100%, because, you know, it would be a shame to see something like this, a very expensive product, have this type of issue or issues. Some people, you know, have not been able to even get past the initialization screen, and that's a shame. But if you guys like this video, please drop a like. Please subscribe for future videos. I do release videos every week. And even though I don't really normally do reviews, you can expect at least one more review that will be happening in the future for a pretty cool little device which does not have any issues at the moment. So until the next time, stay tuned and take care of yourselves. Have fun out there, and I will see you all later.